So we just finished up the surprise recording of episode 4. What was thought to be a 3-part series was actually a 4-part series because we like lying to you all.
And in fact, we're speaking to all of you from the past.
Yes.
Well, I suppose this won't come out until after the end of season 5.
Yeah, which will be in December.
December, so like we're speaking to you like 7 months in the past.
Yes. Yes.
Surprise. We had it all planned the whole time.
The entire time. And it all went exactly as planned. And I'm sure between now and December, nothing has changed.
Yeah, it was very interesting. We're like, oh, we have to do this scene, but we can't know anything that happens over the next 7 months. So
Make no reference.
don't
Or if
reference
anything,
anything.
generic references. Like there's a few things that we know. Of course, the assistant. We know her place in here.
Mm-hmm.
We know that the season was going on under the reign of Vythorn. But here we are in what now is very clear as to being a mere imagination. The entire season. Unreal.
And yeah, I'm very happy about it because this is my favorite gimmick to do in any sort of anything, just to make it all a dream sequence. So this entire, if, in case it wasn't clear enough between that explanation and as Vythorn closes his eyes to consider what he will become, who he is, at the end or in the middle of episode 3, he the entire season is happening in that moment as he thinks about, what happens if I do overthrow the Grandmaster? What happens if I do become the Lord of Fate and take control? What does that look like? And, so this is all happening in kind of the blink of an eye. This entire season is nothing. It's all non-canon.
It doesn't matter.
Never
but
happened.
it kind of does matter. Like it's not real to anyone else except for Vythorn. Right? This is the longest breath he's ever taken. Inhale, starts the dream sequence, exhales, all over, right? It's an experience that he has. So it's real to him because he's gone through it. He's thought through what could this look like. He gets to live that. And then he comes back here, right?
Yeah.
And now we see a new villains on the horizon. Shadow King is up in the air. His pieces of body scattered around the hells. Philomena, our god of fate. They will be coming for Vythorn and the Void. Many different fronts. And yet, we'll still have our death matches for a new and revised, fresh reason, which is kind of nice as well.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see the new dynamic between or maybe the old dynamic between the Arbiter and the Grandmaster. Maybe things just settle in, but how they approach these new threats. Obviously, the Shadow King is weakened and gone, but he still out there somewhere, could come back. We'll see how that plays out, and it's interesting to think like the whole season is only Vythorn has lived it, right? And at this point, that's still true because it hasn't happened for us yet. So it's funny that I just had the thought that like all of the episodes that are going to be coming out, we're recording this before them, all of them are going to be coming out are just all going to be Vythorn's imagination. And so, obviously we're going to know ahead of time that we'll basically be learning whatever Vythorn's thinking about. Every interaction, every person, every character, every thought, every, whatever is all just going to be part of this dream sequence, which, at the very end, then we reveal is just that, which I thought was a very nice scene between the Grandmaster and the Arbiter, even though it wasn't really her. It was just him talking to himself.
Yes. But like, okay, so this is part of it, right? This is the real challenge in this dream sequence. Do we want to officially label it as a dream sequence?
Yeah.
Or is it a glimpse into the many pathways of future?
That
a god of fate in the Void would have.
Maybe I don't think it makes too much difference, but you know, if it makes you feel good, then yeah, we could call it a look at a possible future, perhaps.
I mean, we're not multiversing this. Let's be clear. I don't have the energy to write a
No,
multiverse
obviously
story.
not. But you know what I mean. You know,
Yes.
seeing through
But that's
space and
interesting.
time.
Yes. Yes. I mean, as a user of time,
Mm-hmm.
right? There's that capability as well as fulfilling what was assumed your god of fate, lord of fate role in this. Starting to dip into that a little bit more. You have those opportunities to see all the options that start to lie in front of you, and this being one of the other major choices that would most likely stand here.
Yeah, you know, I kind of like that because you know, especially with this new power from Warrior's Cataclysm, you
Mm-hmm.
know, maybe that just fuels the ability to kind of see through those choices and connect
Mm-hmm.
them through time and space.
Yes.
So, you know, whether
It's not
it's
enough power that he can see all of the options, but one in
sure,
particular that he was doting upon becomes a reality for him to experience. And I think that's important,
mm-hmm.
right? Like what
Yeah,
we view as being real allows us to have visions. And honestly, I wish I had that skill. Like it'd be so nice to be able to like, I just want to know where this ends.
yeah,
Right? Be like, yeah, I should get a degree in this. This is gonna end up really well.
yeah. This
Go
is.
back and talk to college me.
I think it's interesting, you know, whether it's a dream sequence or whether it's you know, a prophetic vision or an
Hmm.
experiencing of this alternate reality or this possible
Right.
reality, whatever it is, you know, I still think it's meaningful to him. Obviously, it's influenced his decision, um, you know, to not betray the Grandmaster and to see themselves, as he said, two sides of a coin.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be interesting moving forward, and I gotta say, having not again, now like we're looking forward, like we have a whole season to wait until people get to know the fact that all of it was that the Arbiter didn't betray the Grandmaster, that he actually, you know, decided against it and was ultimately a loyal friend. So, but you know, having a whole season of everyone hating the Arbiter is what I think what I'm in for. So,
Yeah.
it'll be
People are going to
interesting.
be taking back their sentences.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see when people are shocked. You know, it's really fun to like. We keep trying to come up with twists. You know.
Yes. Well,
Uh,
that's the hard thing. I want to call that out. So one of the initial things, and we've said this from the beginning, even in our Kickstarter, I think we noted some of our inspirations are obviously WWE in terms of like the death matches themselves. But for our overall story, we were taking a lot of inspiration to hats off the amazing Mystery Science Theater 3000, where there is a story. And so there is movement, but also nothing ever changes as well. We had to find a way of getting back to our core of Grandmaster Arbiter energy. How do we move forward and still find ourselves back in that same spot?
yeah.
There's that weird balance because most stories,
Yeah.
right? Most experiences, what in real life in D&D wherever, right? They move forward, right?
Yeah.
We tell them and they have a direction, and we are trying to tell a story in a circle, but at least maybe more like a spiral. So
Yeah.
it feels familiar.
It's interesting because it's like how do you push a story forward while also understanding that it has to be stagnant in some ways.
Mhm.
So you know, how do we keep introducing characters or elements of things beyond that, or you know, kind of outside of the death matches, that
Mhm.
push anybody who's interested in the lore or the story, that keep us season to season kind of moving forward, so it doesn't feel like the same thing, even though a majority of what we're doing is the same thing. You know,
Yes.
so just like how do we reskin it, and then obviously we don't want it to be too predictable, because we could, if we just said, oh, the Arbiter is going to betray the Grandmaster every season, that gets old too, or oh, there's going to be a twist every season, like, well, that's been the case so far, but you know, hopefully we're not
But a
telegraphing
slightly
what the twist
different
is,
twist.
you know, so hopefully we're getting better about how do we craft these stories, and like
Mhm.
how do we weave them in a way that's going to be entertaining and catch people off guard, and even if they've seen all, however many episodes we have at this point of our show, that it still feels like something like, oh shit, I didn't expect that. Something new, something like that they wouldn't have expected from what we're making.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and I guess I want to just do a direct call out to our listeners. Thank you. Right. Yes. This has been something that we continue to build. We evolve. We've been changing. We've changed directions. We keep investing ourselves into this space. And it's so nice to have an amazing community that is equally invested. You all come Sunday after Sunday to cheer on amazing talent that has surprisingly said yes to wanting to play with us at times. And we put them through extreme situations, and together in our own magical way, as we pull ourselves in this space and choose to be here, we've created something really amazing.
Yeah, I think that's a great place to end it.
Then do it.
Then let's go. See you. Get out of here. Go away.